Welcome to Falling Through the Cracks. Feel alive and thrive with Dr. Rebecca Risk. Do you ever feel that even though nothing seems seriously wrong and you pass all the medical tests, that you still feel that your health, pain, and fatigue are completely out of control? It doesn't have to be that way. Listen to the tips and suggestions given on our program today and take back control of your health. Now, here is Dr. Rebecca Risk.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Falling Through the Cracks. Today, I'm talking with Amber Leong. She is the founder and CEO of Circadian Optics Innovation line of light therapy lamps. She was featured on ABC TV's Shark Tank on October 6, 2019, and she's here today discussing this new technology. Amber, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Rebecca.
So what inspired you to go about and make these light therapy lamps?
Yeah, so the company is based in Minnesota, and I'm originally from Malaysia, and during one long winter here in Minnesota where the sky was always gray and I would go to work in the dark and would come home in the dark, and it was really depressing. And I think a lot of us, like just talking to my friends and all my coworkers, everyone felt that grayness that was in their health and in their life, where you don't have energy and you can sleep at night, and it was just off. And I did some research, and I read about the importance of daylight, sunlight to our physical and mental health because of our circadian rhythm of our body clock. And I was like, well, the problem is we're not getting enough light because of all the gray winters that we have. So I went out to purchase a light therapy lamp. And it was the best-selling light therapy lamp at the time, and it was this big, giant lamp that took up a lot of space in my office. And I started using it, and I felt the effects immediately. Like when you turn the lamp on, and I was like, wow, I have sunlight in my life, and I felt better. I slept better, but after a couple of days, I stopped using it because of the stigma of using a light therapy lamp. Like my coworkers would come in and they were like, what is that? And there was this just stigma around using these lamps. And I figured, well, the reason that people are not using it is because the lamps were not designed well. They look very clinical. So then I got the idea that what if there was a lamp in the marketplace that looked good, but at the same time bright enough, has the color and the brightness of daylight, so that it could be an effective light therapy lamp, and so that people would be more willing and more accepting of using a lamp on their desk. So that is really the genesis of Circadian Optics light therapy. So I quit my corporate job, went all in on this idea that I have to create a good-looking light therapy lamp, and it's been 4 years, and this year I had the opportunity to pitch my idea on Shark Tank, and it was very well received, and here I am, still on this crazy entrepreneurial journey, but I'm super thankful because I get feedback from my customers. I read reviews, I get emails about how our lamps have changed their lives. They feel better, they sleep better, and that is one of the most gratifying things and the best part of my job, and I'm very, very thankful for that.
Well, so I want to talk about the stigma that you encountered. I wasn't aware there was a stigma around the lamps. I remember my mom had one when I was in high school, and it was huge. It was probably the length of her desk or close to it, and she set it up on the wall, and she would, it was a little scary. She worked from home, and her office was in the basement where there was no windows. But she would go and eat her breakfast in front of this lamp, even though there's no windows down there, to get the sunlight from the lamp, because there was nowhere else to put it. And, it was dark outside, and, I live in Canada, so we get, probably similar to Minnesota, maybe worse, less light. And, she wanted to have those effects, but there was nowhere to put it. We couldn't put it upstairs because it was so big. And then that's my experience with them, is they're huge. And then what do you do with that? Do you put your whole life on hold because you want to have a lamp sitting there? And yours are very small. They're the size of the microphone that I'm using right now, which is more user friendly. And
yeah, exactly that. So light therapy has been around for a long time. It's based on the science of circadian rhythm, and your mom used it. So it's been around for over 40, 50 years. And it's proven, the science of it is proven. It's been studied, the effectiveness of it, the color spectrum, the usage protocol. But what has changed from, in 2019 compared to 20 years ago is the LED technology. So the lamp that your mom was using was the fluorescent lamps. And because of fluorescent lamps, they need a lot more space. But just in the advancement of LED technology, and we're still, the technology is still developing, that we're able to really minimize the size of the lamp to get the same brightness. And it's able to be a lot more space efficient and power efficient. And it allows us to be more creative with our designs as well. And you still get the same brightness and the color spectrum. So what has completely changed is the game changer is the LED technology. And that is why we're able to come up with different designs, but still meet the requirements of effective light therapy. And the stigma that is with light therapy is that I think a lot of people have heard about it and are aware of it. When you explain it just in 10 seconds, people get it immediately. But I think it's just sometimes a good-natured teasing, but even when you're not feeling the greatest and you're trying to do your best to make yourself feel better, even the slightest teasing, you still feel sensitive about it. And I think this experience that I had was in my corporate job is probably 6-7 years ago. So even in the last 5 years, there has been a lot of awareness about self-care, about making yourself feel better, about health and wellness. So times have definitely changed. That people are definitely more aware. All these apps that we have about mindfulness, and also tips about how to eating well. And I think light is the next wave. People are looking for ways to incorporate all these habits in their daily routine. That is not expensive, and it's simple to incorporate in their routine. And I always say this when I'm explaining about light therapy to everyone around me, is that I believe that there is lack of awareness about the importance of light and our body clock. So people talk about the importance of exercise, and people talk about the importance of nutrition. But I think the next wave is the importance of sleep and light, and that is really the trend. Not a trend. I think health is not a trend, but that's the growing awareness in the general public and the general discussion that people have, and it's really the third leg that holds the stool. So sleep and body clock is the third leg, in addition to nutrition and exercise, to live a truly healthy life so that you can be the best version of yourself.
Well, and it does make sense because even, before we sat in offices, we would be outside. We wouldn't be going to work in the dark and coming home in the dark. So the lack of sunlight just meant we were quieter in our lives. So traditionally in winter, it's a time that everybody rests, the trees rest, the animals hibernate. We're not supposed to, do certain things. But we are supposed to go outside. And unfortunately, our jobs often don't allow that, especially in, we're gearing very close to the darkest day of the year, as we're talking right now. And so we're going to see less and less of that sunlight and not get that. And, our environment and our patterns are a little bit unnatural. So we do need something like that to substitute what we're missing, or we're all just going to have to walk away from our office jobs.
Yeah. So that is exactly right. And that was actually my 1 minute pitch my initial pitch to Shark Tank when I was talking to the casting director, is that, my opening statement was like, from an evolutionary perspective, we are not meant to be slogging inside a dark office for 10 hours a day. That is not how we're supposed to live. How we have evolved as human beings, and even plants and animals, it's encoded in our DNA that we follow our body clock, and follow a certain rhythm to life that follows the rhythm of the sun. So when the sun goes up, we are supposed to wake up and go outside and hunt and forage and work hard. And when the sun goes down, we are supposed to go back indoors and rest well and sleep well. And then the next day, it starts again. And we are not following that pattern with our office jobs. And we're not following that pattern when at night we are watching TV, looking at our devices, and we're exposed to so much light at night. And it's confusing our body clock. It's confusing like our physical and mental function, and that's why we have trouble sleeping at night. So it's proven. The science of circadian rhythm and light is that when you wake up in the morning, you get exposed to bright daylight, and that is the foundation also for better sleep at night, because it sets your body clock. All of us, even plants and animals, follow a 24-hour cycle. So if you're exposed to light in the morning, and then it sets and it's through your eyes. Once your eyes are exposed to daylight, it sends a signal to your brain, and then it sends to your brain, and it cascades down to your entire body. Your melatonin production, your hormone production. And then you're supposed to, perform your best. You're able to perform your best in the morning. And then throughout the day, when the night comes, you're supposed to be able to relax better and then sleep better. So getting light first thing in the morning is the foundation of a better sleep.
Let's talk about this more. We're going to take a quick break. We're talking today with Amber Leong, and she's the founder and CEO of Circadian Optics. We'll be back shortly.
Your life, your health, your network. You're listening to Voice America Health and Wellness.
The Voice America Live Events channel is here now to showcase your corporate, individual, or organization's live event. Visit voiceamerica.com/live events to see all of our past live events and find out more. Whether it's a multi-day conference, special speaker, or single-day event, we've got everything to make your event a success. We can do a few hours or a few days. For more information about taking your event to the next level, call Jeff Spinard at 480-294-6417 or email info@voiceamerica.com. Again, that's Jeff Spinard at 480-294-6417 or send us an email to info info at voiceamerica.com. Voice America is where you are and where you want to be. Join us around the globe as we broadcast live from some of the most interesting events available. Don't forget to view all our live events, including on-demand access to past events that you may have missed by visiting voiceamerica.com/live events.
Have you become a member yet? Sign up now to become a member of Voice America. It's always free and easy. Plus, you get to take advantage of some great member benefits. Get unlimited access to millions of hours of on-demand content across all of our channels. Keep track of your favorite episodes, shows, and hosts in your own customizable library. Find out what shows you might be interested in based on your favorites. Plus, you get insider access with our newsletter. Membership gives you more. Sign up at voiceamerica.com and click Register at the top right.
Your life, your health, your network. You're listening to Voice America Health and Wellness.
You are listening to Falling Through the Cracks with your host, Dr. Rebecca Risk. To reach the program today, please call in to 1-866-472-5792. Again, that's 1-866-472-5792. You may also send an email directly to Dr. Risk. The email address is anantacalgary@gmail.com. Now, back to Falling Through the Cracks. Feel alive and thrive.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Today, we're talking with Amber Leong. She is the founder and CEO of Circadian Optics. So, Amber, you said something in the first segment. You said when you're talking about the light, you said the color spectrum. And your lamps are different. I remember there needing to be some skin exposure to the ones my mom had. And with yours, the instructions are to look at it. And it's your eyes that are important. So what's going on there?
Yeah, so how our lamps work is that you have to not look at it directly, but expose to it. So you set it up next to your computer or your cereal bowl, and then just go about, eating your cereal or working. And then as long as your the lamp and the light is exposed to your eyes, and then it's the color spectrum and the brightness is the thing that triggers the receptors in your eyes that sends a signal to your brain. So that is the science of how it works, and it is different from tanning bed or skin exposure because that one is vitamin D. So that is, that has UV and vitamin D that is related to that portion of it. And for all our lamps, we have a UV filter on them so that you can get the benefits of light without the dangers of UV. And once the light hits your eyes, it is supposed to, make you feel like you have more energy, helps you wake up, and it helps you make you more alert as well.
Which, most people need in the winter. One of the biggest complaints I hear from people is how hard it is to get up in the morning when, I get up at 5:30 in the morning and the sun is not up, that's for sure. And it's difficult to think, I have to get up and the rest of the world is still asleep. So what would somebody do with your lamp to help them make their morning better? So we have customers that set it up, our lamps next to their the desk on their bedside, their desk. So when they wake up and then they just turn the lamp on. We have customers that use it when they're eating their cereal too, so at their breakfast table. But a lot of what our customers do is that they actually set their lamps next to their computer at their workplace so that when they turn on their computer in the morning, they turn on our lamp, and then that's when they, get the day going, turn on their day and
they feel more energy and more awake, and they are able to focus at their workplace. And a lot of people, I mean, that's what they use it for. So you can use it the first thing in the morning in your bedroom, at the breakfast table, or at the workplace. And it's different for everyone and how long you use it, but our recommended dosage is usage is up to an hour. And it's actually, you can use it for even longer. I personally, how I use it is that I set it up next to my computer. I turn my lamp on, my Circadian Optics lamp on, and I have it on for the entire morning while I work for up to 3 hours. And then before I go for lunch, I just turn it off, and then I go for lunch. And it's something that I've incorporated in my daily life and my daily routine, and it's completely changed my life. And I use it in the winter. In the summer as well, not just in the winter, because I get the benefits of it. I like how alert I feel, how focused I feel, and it's something that is so simple. If there's anything I could tell people, like why people should use Islam, or just, it's like the simplicity of it. You don't have to change your diet. You don't have to take out an expensive gym membership and commit, 2 hours a day to go to this special gym for this special exercise. It's a simple lamp that I set next to my computer, and I use it, and it makes me feel better. And I wish that, people don't have to suffer through seasonal depression and winter blues, and something that they can try. It's not something, and it's a natural solution too. It's not something that you ingest anything in your body with any medication. And people should just give it a try. It sounds weird, like, well, it's just sunlight. But that's exactly it. It's just sunlight. If you if you imagine yourself, walking out in the sun, like how good you feel, how alert you feel, how optimistic you feel. That is the feeling that I get when I use my lamp. And I'm of course biased because I'm the one that created it, but I want to encourage everyone that's listening to just give it a try. If you're suffering through winter blues, like you're suffering that you're feeling sluggish and you're feeling like you can't wake up, just give this a try and see what it takes, where it goes, and maybe it'll help.
Well, so the seasonal affective disorder, I don't think everybody understands what that is. People who've been diagnosed with it get it, but it's actually not commonly talked about the way it should be, and I don't think it's diagnosed very often. Can you just talk about what that is? Well, it's when in the winter when people don't get enough sunlight, and they are cooped up in the dark, and that is when their mood is they're in a low mood, low energy, and it affects people a lot more. I mean, people who live in colder climates, like in Canada and Minnesota, where we're at, and a lot of times when it's diagnosed, that's when you go to a doctor and they get diagnosed. But a lot of people, not just, a lot of people feel that effect, even though they're not diagnosed. I mean, and they understand what it is. Like they do feel in the winter, they feel sad and sluggish and they don't have energy to do anything. And it only affects them in the winter time when they don't get enough sunlight, and that is what it is, like seasonal affective disorder. But when they're not, when a lot. Yeah, sorry. No, go ahead.
But people, a lot of people, however, they don't necessarily go to the doctor to get diagnosed, and they are still feeling okay. They're still functional, but they still feel sluggish, and it's a milder form, and we use the term winter blues for that.
Mm-hmm. So with the lamp, if somebody's using it, you said an hour a day. Now, first, is there anybody that shouldn't be using the lamp?
Yeah. So we have caution in our usage guide is people who have recently had surgery for cataracts or any eye condition. We caution them that they consult with their physician before using the lamp because their eyes if they recently had eye surgery, the eyes are very sensitive to bright light. And also they are people who take certain medication. They are also sensitive to bright light. So we've included that in our usage guide that these two groups of people who have had surgery and also people who take certain medications, they should talk to their physician before using bright light therapy.
Okay, and so when somebody starts to use it, do they start with an hour a day, or is that something that we should adjust our bodies to?
Oh, yes, so we should adjust. So everyone's tolerance for bright light is different, and the light is bright because it mimics daylight and sunlight. So what we recommend is that you start with 15 minutes a day, and slowly increase it by 5 to 10 minutes and up to an hour by the end of the week, and see how you feel. But for me, when I started, I remember starting it, I was like, I use an hour right off the bat because I don't have the sensitivity, and I felt so good using the lamp. But for people who have not had light therapy lamps before, that's why we say start with 15 minutes and see how you feel. And because you yourself, you're the best, the best self-advocate for how you feel, and we trust our customers to do that. But that is our usage guide, is that start with 15 minutes and then increase the time of using it gradually over 7 days.
And so in that process, how long does it take before somebody will notice a difference in how they're feeling?
About 7 days. We would say about 7 days, and give it time. It's not going to. It's like you have to give it time for it to be effective, and a lot of times too, like people are using it for sleep. I say you definitely 7 days, and you also have to practice good sleep hygiene at night too. If you're using our lamps in the morning, make sure when you're at night you're not like being exposed to bright light for hours at night. Of course, then it won't be effective. Our lamps won't be effective to reset your body clock. But in terms of alertness and helping you be awake, feel more awake, and helping you be more focused, you should feel that effect in just 2 to 3 days, actually.
Well, that's good to know, and good to know about the nighttime. So you wouldn't recommend coming home from work and then turning the light on because that will disrupt sleep.
Correct. So our lamps are bright light therapy lamps that mimics the color and the brightness of the sun. So you use it like how the movement of the sun. So at night when the sun has set, you don't use the lamp because that will confuse your body clock, and it might affect your relaxation time, and you might have trouble sleeping at night because your eyes are exposed to it. And the goal of the light is to reset your body clock. And if you use it at night, you you have confused your body clock because it's like reset twice. And we use our lamps. A lot of times people also use our lamps when they are traveling to help combat jet lag. And that is one good example of your body clock or your circadian rhythm is extremely confused. That's why you feel off. You feel like it feels so terrible. It's because our body clock is out of whack. So how our customers use our lamps when they're traveling across time zones is that first thing in the morning when they wake up at the place of their location, they've arrived their location. When they wake up, they use our lamps when they're getting ready for 15, 30 minutes, an hour if they want to, if they have the time, before they go out, and that will help them feel more energy, like they have more energy during the day, and helps them get over jet lag faster.
Well, that's something I never thought about, but it does make sense considering jet lag is, your body clock just being different than the time zone you're in. And what an easy way to just kickstart your body into where you want it to be.
Yeah, exactly. And that is our goal, is that we want people to be aware of light therapy. And also we want to provide light at the right time for people so that they can get the benefits of light therapy.
Which is pretty amazing. Now, who can benefit? Now, I'm asking because I set your lamp up yesterday when I was researching for this show, and my dog and cat came and sat in front of it. So, there was, I don't know if it was just because it was something different, but I took a picture and my cat was lying right in front of it. You can barely see because the light was so bright, and he was sprawled directly in front of this lamp, obviously reaping the benefits of the sun. So is this go ahead.
So it's we created the lamps based on the scientific papers and protocols on humans. But we have, like, if you go on our Instagram and the emails that I've gotten, yes, especially cats. Cats love our lamps. So because cats, they like to lounge in the sun. And I think that is what it is, because our lights, our circadian lamps, they mimic the color and the brightness of the sun, and they're reacting to that. Like wow, this is the mini sun that's in the house, and they want to be in front of it. But yeah, to your question on who can benefit from it, light therapy research has been done on like a huge spectrum of the population. So it's been done on school children. It helps them be more alert doing in school. It's been done on office workers, so adults, and it helps them become less stressed and increase their productivity. Light therapy is also the research has been done on the elderly, because they have trouble. Their body clock is when they're older, their body clock is like gets out of whack a little, and they have trouble sleeping at night, and that has been proven to help elderly people sleep better. So it's the research has been done on a wide spectrum of people, and it's effective. And for me, because I also read customer service emails, I have a lot of customers who actually purchased the lamps for their children, and they send it to their dorm rooms. And it's really the best part of my job about reading this. Like, I have parents who call me and say, my son is coming back from Norway, and he's studying abroad, and he's feeling really depressed, and will this lamp with the voltage, will it work with that work with the voltage in Norway. And I was like, oh, that is so sweet that you're doing that. So it's like part of a care package for college kids. I have people, adult caregivers who are calling and asking about our lamps for their elderly parents. And it's something that it's like I learn a lot from my customers is that they are they're giving this lamp to their family members so that they can feel better. And it makes me feel very, very good too, that I'm so thankful that I get to do this. And another group of people that is interesting is that a couple of years ago, there's this famous Silicon Valley tech influencer who wrote a long blog post about how to be more productive. And his name is Sam Altman. He's the president of Y Combinator, and Y Combinator is a big tech startup accelerator program. And he blogged about how to get, be the most productive you can be, and so that you can code all day and program all day. And he recommended our lamps, and because of that, it's also our lamps has become a little bit of a cult favorite with the Silicon Valley type. So I sent a lot of lamps to California for people who want to get the most productivity. They want to be extremely focused. They want to be extremely productive. And so it's a lot like our lamps, like that is our target consumer. It's like we have two groups, like people who are buying this for their families and the people like are working who want to do their best work.
Well, that does make sense, because even if you're in California where there's sun, you're inside working. So you're not necessarily getting the sunlight anyway. So I can see the benefits of that no matter where you live. We're going to take a quick break. We're talking today with Amber Leong, and she's the founder and CEO of Circadian Optics, and we'll be back shortly.
Opinions, options, answers. You're listening to Voice America Health and Wellness.
Take us on the go. It's even easier now. The Voice America Talk Radio Network has a mobile app for iOS, Android, or Amazon Kindle. Visit the Apple App Store, Amazon, or Google Play to download the app powered by Aircast. It's free and no registration is necessary. In minutes, you could be enjoying your favorite Voice America Talk Radio host no matter where you are, in the car, out and about, while traveling, or anytime you can't be close to your computer. Catch up on the archives you've missed or discover new shows on the spot. Search Voice America at your favorite app store.
We're on the pulse of the world with great shows and hosts. The Voice America Health and Wellness channel is also on Twitter. We've got ideas to keep you healthy, breaking health news, and more. Follow us on Twitter at VoiceAM Health. That's at VoiceAM Health.
Opinions, options, answers. You're listening to Voice America Health and Wellness.
You are listening to Falling Through the Cracks with your host, Dr. Rebecca Risk. To reach the program today, please call in to 1-866-472-5792. Again, that's 1-866-472-5792. You may also send an email directly to Dr. Risk. The email address is anantacalgary@gmail.com. Now, back to Falling Through the Cracks. Feel alive and thrive.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Today I'm talking with Amber Leong, and she is the founder and CEO of Circadian Optics, and we're discussing her light therapy lamps. So, Amber, you mentioned, of course, traveling with the lamps, and I was trying to envision putting the lamps that you sent me in a box in my suitcase, and I couldn't envision that. So do you actually have a travel version of the lamp?
We do. So a couple versions of our lamps are very travel friendly. One is called the Luxy. So it is a palm size lamp that you can travel with, and it's also powered by USB. So it's very convenient for people who are traveling internationally, and they might not have a travel adapter. They can just power it with their computer, or they can use it on the USB with a local adapter wherever they may be. And that's just a palm-sized lamp. And that was such a revolutionary thing that we launched this year in April that we actually won an award by Architectural Digest as one of the most innovative products because it's something that you can travel with, and it helps with jet lag. And we're hoping that would change and get more people to use light therapy lamps. And that is really what we want to do, is that we want to create lamps with the designs and that looks good, so that more people would use it and remove that stigma of using a light therapy lamp. And that is how we're going to do it, through design. For us, design is of utmost importance, because if something doesn't look good and it's not convenient, people will not use it.
Well, and that's exactly what it was like. And, going from that big one that my mom had that had to be set up in the basement to one that could have, fit in the palm of her hand and she could have done from anywhere in the house. Knowing my mom, she would have probably walked around with it and, done chores with it on her or something. And just to get the benefit of it for as long as she could. But so that's your next idea, just so you know. But that's significantly different, in the last 30 years of where this has gone. And really it is important because we're spending more and more time indoors. Just as you said, you're sending these out to Silicon Valley, to California, where they can go outside all year round and not have to worry about frostbite. And, I don't have that luxury, and I wish I did. And they're still ordering these lamps just to make themselves feel better, which is amazing.
Yes, it is, because they are, no matter where you are in the country, if you are just spending the whole time, you're 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day, working inside in an office and working on your career, getting that promotion, working on that project, your passion project, you're not getting the light that you need the way that we're supposed to be getting our light, how our ancestors used to live, and where everyone can get the benefit of it. And it's very something that's very gratifying, and it motivates me, and I want people to try this. It's something that is one of the safest and most natural things that you can do to make yourself feel better. It's like taking a walk outside in the sun, and it's not very expensive. It's not a subscription. You can just purchase a lamp, and that's all our lamps is very reasonably priced, and just set it next to your desk and turn it on your computer. Turn on your lamp, something that you can incorporate in your daily life, part of your wellness routine that is so simple. You don't have to change the way you eat, don't have to change the way you exercise. It's something that is repeatable and something that is simple to use because you just turn it on. And that is for me, that is so important in terms of what a wellness routine is. A wellness routine would only work if it's reputable and simple. If you have to change the way you live, or a certain kind of diet, or a certain kind of exercise, you have to change the way you live. People will fall off the bandwagon, almost after a couple of months. So it's important for us that we produce or create something that is, create our lamps in a way that is very, very simple to incorporate in our daily wellness routine. And it is what it is. It's what our lamps are. It's a wellness. It's a lamp that would help you live better. It's a wellness product.
So you have different styles and sizes of lamps. And how does somebody go about picking which one is the best for them? Are they for different things, or are they just for functionality in your life?
So the functionality is all the same. So for Circadian Optics Light Therapy, for us, because we want to improve the adaptation of people using the lamps, we have come up with different designs to suit different design styles. For us, the important thing is that people would use it and they have to like it. So that is why we have different designs. It's for different different design styles. So one is a square one, we have a round one, we have one that is inspired by more architectural one. And that recently was actually, it's called the Lattice, and that was featured on the Wall Street Journal just last week, talking about the exact same thing on just what I talked about in the last hour, which was the headline of that article was that chic light therapy lamps that are not depressing. So I was so happy when I saw that. I was like, that is practically my mission statement. It's removing the barrier. Design is removing the barrier of using light therapy lamps, and that is my goal and my hope and my vision to the universe. The prayer is that people will get the benefits of light therapy lamp, and we'll have this in every desk in America, so people can get the benefits of light even when they're indoors.
So I know that we touched on and we talked about what the benefits are, but just to recap this episode, I want to make sure that everybody's aware of what would change if they start using the lamps regularly.
Yes, so what would change is that you would feel more awake, you will feel more energy, you will feel more focused and more alert to be the best version of yourself. And it also is the foundation of a better sleep at night, because when you use the lamp in the morning for 15 to 60 minutes, it resets your body clock and it tells your body what it's supposed to do. And you will perform better, you can do better, feel more awake, and sleep better at night.
Which I think we all need. So by using it in the morning, and I think you said really briefly early on that will trigger melatonin, and melatonin is what we need to sleep. Our melatonin, is that what you said?
No, so it suppresses melatonin.
Okay.
So what happens is when you turn the lamp on and your eyes are exposed to the light, it sends a signal to your brain first to suppress melatonin so that you won't feel sleepy. It increases your cortisol, which is your wake up hormone. So that you can perform better and you be more alert. We do need cortisol. And then also it helps produce serotonin, which is the feel-good hormone. So those are the three things, the three components. Suppresses melatonin, it increases your cortisol, and it increases your serotonin, it's feel-good hormone.
Okay, so I understand that better, and I can see why you don't want to use that at night, because you need the melatonin to sleep. So if you use it when you get home from work, you're not going to sleep because your melatonin is going to be suppressed for a while. So it just seems like it should be part of your morning routine. And since it takes you a second to turn it on, it's not a hard part of your routine. And, I can see where you would either put it in your bedroom or where you're getting ready or in your kitchen when you're eating breakfast or just getting ready. Now, do you have to be facing it to work because you need to trigger your eye line? Or is it okay if it's just in the room and you're moving about?
So we have customers, if you turn it on as an ambient light, that is okay. It's very bright, so it does light up the room. But for it to get the full benefit, you do have to sit in front of it. You do have to get your eyes exposed to it. And our usage protocol is that you set it, like I said, next to your cereal bowl, next to your computer, and just 15 minutes, that's all it takes. So when you're getting ready, you're having your breakfast, working, that one is easy. And just have your eyes exposed to it. You don't have to look at it directly, just like you don't look at the sun directly. How it works is that it would activate your peripheral vision. So not your focal vision, but your peripheral vision.
Okay, well, that's exactly what my cat did when he laid in front of it, and then he blocked it from my vision. But I'll have a chat with him. That's not always about him. And
that is funny.
Yeah. Now, is there? How can people get a hold of these lamps? Where do they find them?
So our lamps are available online on our website at circadianoptics.com, and they're also available on Amazon. So there's 2 places that you can buy them.
Yeah, and I looked on Amazon, and your prices are really good. It used to be like buying an appliance when you were buying a lamp, and it was something you had to be dedicated to, and then you didn't use it because it was inconvenient. So I'm glad to see that now this is affordable, and everybody can, it's within everybody's reach to have at least one in their house.
Yeah. That's what we want to do.
Yeah, and I love that you have the travel one. I think I'll be getting one of those because it just, people always ask me what they can do for jet lag, and that's really great advice.
Yeah. So it's like, because that's the advice that you get, right? Go out and get sun in the morning, right? When, that's one of the first things to overcome jet lag. And not a lot of people can do that when people are traveling for work. Yes. So this one, it makes sure that, it ensures that they will get the sun in the morning to help them beat jet lag.
Oh, that's perfect. Now, if anybody has any questions, is there a way that they can get a hold of you?
Oh, yeah. So we're available. On our website, there's a contact us. There are a couple of email addresses. So that's the fastest way to get an answer to any questions. And we're very, very happy to answer any questions that anyone has.
Well, perfect. Thank you so much for joining me today. It was a great show.
Thank you so much, Rebecca.
So today we're talking with Amber Leong, and she is the founder and CEO of Circadian Optics. The website is circadianoptics.com. And if you want more information about my story and what I went through back to health, you can find that on my website at dr-risk.com. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. You can always send questions to anantacalgary@gmail.com. And thanks so much for listening today. Be sure to make today a great day.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's edition of Falling Through the Cracks. Feel alive and thrive. Please join Dr. Rebecca Risk again next Monday at noon Eastern Time and 9 a.m. Pacific Time on the Voice America Health and Wellness channel. We'll talk more next week.